ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, now and forever. Amen. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Adonai Echad Adonai Echad Hashem Bahu Vahishte Masti Ushta Asti Yat Ashai Vahishtai Ashem Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Buddham Saranam Gacchami Dhammam Saranam Gacchami Sangham Saranam Gacchami. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. La ilaha illallah, Allah, Allah. 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 Om Saishwaraya vidmahe Satyadevaya dhimahi Tanna sarva prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya vidmahe Satyadevaya dhimahi Tanna sarva prachodayat. Om Saishwaraya vidmahe Satyadevaya dhimahi Shanti Shanti. Om Sri Sai Ram, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the devotees across the world for joining the second day of our Sri Rudra Jnana Yajna. And yesterday we were contemplating on the context of how Sri Rudram is part of the universal consciousness. And the essence of what we discussed yesterday was, I will show a couple of slides and then we will move to chanting the Nyasa today. And you should be able to see my screen now. And if you are seeing my, Branimir, can you see my screen? Sairam?
Yes, I can see your screen. If you can
Okay,
just enlarge it, the full screen, if you can, if you can share, expand the presentation,
okay, let me do that. So we are talking about the context of Veda as awareness or knowledge. And this awareness or knowledge is infinite, incomprehensible. And that infinite awareness of 8.5 million living species, where this awareness is patent, plus the awareness of all that is latent, meaning even in rocks, mountains, rivers, etc., there is an awareness, but it is not patent, it is latent. So if you combine all of that, it's incomprehensible, period. But in the context of the rishis and the sages and the seers, they were able to connect to what is that awareness in a very small way. So this awareness that we're talking as Vedas, like Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, all these Veda awareness is a very small portion of that universal awareness. It is not the complete awareness. So that awareness that was perceived by human intelligence is classified as Rig Veda. And if you imagine that awareness, yesterday I was talking about a ball, but looking at this, it actually is an ellipsoidal lingam that is unending, and that is Rigveda, the outer layer, Samaveda, the next layer, Yajurveda, which is the one that is the inner layer. Inside that Yajurveda is Rudra Prashna, which is the center. Inside that, eighth Anuvaka is the center. Inside that, Namas Shivaya is the center. Inside that entire universal consciousness, Siva is the center or the seed of that awareness. Now, this context of what we are calling as Rudra is Rudra Dhyaya, or also called Rudra Prashna, is part of that Yajurveda. And that Rudra Dhyaya is in Krishna Yajurveda, Taittiriya Samhita, fourth kanda called Agni Kanda, fifth chapter called Panchama Prapatha is Namaka, Saptama Prapatha, which is the seventh, is the Chamaka. Namaka has 11 chapters or anuvakas, and that has 169 mantras in those, either ruks or yajus. I will come to what is a ruk or a yajus in a second. That 169 mantras, it is called Namaka because 187 times the word Namaha is repeated in this particular Namaka, which is in the Rudradhyaya. Chamaka is 11 chapters, and it's called Chamaka because in this 11 Anuvaka of Chamaka, 388 times Chame is repeated, and hence it is called Chamaka. That's the context overview of Rudradhyaya. When we begin this Rudradhyaya, we actually start with invocation or the preamble, and that preamble actually is the way to actually center ourselves in doing this beautiful chanting of the hymn. Centering ourselves here really means complete presence to the chanting. That complete presence to the chanting is invoked by this preamble, and that today we'll start with that preamble. Brother Branimir will lead or read or chant the preamble, and I'm projecting it on the screen here so that you are able to also follow. If you are not completely memorized it in your hearts, you will at least see what is being chanted. So I request Brother Branimir to start with Gananam Tva and then start chanting this preamble, or what we call as Nyasas. Om Sri Sai Ram.
Yes, Sairam, Sairam. Om Gananam Tvam Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvannothi Dasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhyur Vajinivati Dhinamavitriyavatu Ganeshaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Asya Shri Rudradhyaya Prashna Maha Mantrasya Aghora Rushihi Anushtup Chandaha Sankarshana Murti Svarupo Yosavadityah Paramapurushassa Esha Rutro Devata Namah Shivayeti Bijam Shivatarayeti Shaktihi Mahadevayeti Kilakam Shri Samba Parameshwara Prasada Sikyarte Jape Viniyogaha. Shall I continue or pause here?
Yeah, please continue, brother. And then maybe what I will do is I will, after you complete chanting this, I will explain the nyasas.
Okay. So first there is Karanyasa. Om Agnihotraatmane Angushtabhyam Namaha Darshapurnamasatmane Tarchanibhyam Namaha Chaturmasyatmane Mathyamabhyam Namaha Nirudhapashubandhatmane Anamikabhyam Namaha Jyotushtomatmane Kanishthikabhyam Namaha Sarvakratvatmane Karatalakara Prushtaphyam Namaha Agnihotratmane Hrudayaya Namaha Darshapurnamasatmane Shirase Swaha Chaturmasyatmane Shikhayai Vashat Nirudhapashbandhatmane Kavachayahum Jyotushtomatmane Netratrayaya Vaushat Sarvakratvatmane Astraya Phat Bhurbhuvasuvaro Miti Dikbandhaha Dhyanam
Apatalana
Santa Bhuvana Brahmandamavispurat Jyotisthati Kalinga Mauli Vilasat Purnenduvantamrutaihi Astoka Plutameka Misha Manisham Rutranuva Kanjapanna Dhyaye Deepsita Siddhaye Dhruvapadam Vipro Vishinche Chiram Brahmanda Vyapta Deha Bhasita Kimarucha Bhasamana Bhujangaihi Kandhe Kala Kapata Kalita Shashikala Chandakodanda Hastaha Yaksha Rutraksha Mala Prakatita Vitkava Shambhava Murti Bhedaha Rutra Shri Rutra Sukta Prakatita Vitkava Naf Prayachantu Saukhyam.
Thank you, brother. Very beautiful. So what this beautiful preamble is, as we are talking about, I'll give the essence of the meaning of this. What for every hymn, in fact, every mantra, there is a rishi, which is the seer, who has seen the mantra, and there is a chandas, a meter associated with it, and then there is a divine being or a god to which it is attributed, devata, and then there is the seed which is called bijam, there is the shakti, the energy, and the kilakam is the pin or the password to enter into it. And once you enter into this mantra, then you actually lock yourself with what are called karanyasa, which is touching your fingers on the hand with different mantras, which starts with your thumb all the way to the little finger, and then the top of your palm and the bottom of your palm. So here I'll stop sharing since you have already seen that. And then if you if you look at what brother has chanted just now, when we are talking about, of course, there are patahantras here. When we he only started about Agnihotratmane, but sometimes we actually say Namah Shambhavecha mantra. We use it, and then we use. But be may, what are these different things of Rishi, Devata, etc.? What do you do when you are doing those mantras? So in this particular mantra, the preceptor of the Rudra Dhyaya is Aghora Rishi. And when you chant this preamble, you first do Namaskara. Om Asya Sri Rudra Dhyaya Prashna Mahamantrasya. Then Aghora Rishi. Rishi is in the center of your Sahasrara chakra. So you put your fingers like this, which is only the thumb and the two fingers, the three fingers called Muruga Mudra, and put this Muruga Mudra is going to be put on your center of your Sahasrara. Imagine that the lotus feet of the Rishi that you has invoked this beautiful hymn, that lotus feet you are touching on your Sahasrara. Aghora Rishihi. Then Chandas is associated with your breathing pattern, which is the meter. And therefore, when you say Chandaha, Anushtup, Chandaha, there are 8 major meters in which the mantras are composed, and therefore the meter is as important, because without that breathing pattern, when you are chanting properly, your entire breathing gets eased, and therefore using that breathing pattern to ease yourself is Anushtup Chandaha. Chandaha means you touch your nose or the nostrils like this. Anushtup Chandaha. Then Sankarshanamurti Swarupo Yosavadityah Paramapurusha Sa Esha Rudro Devata. Now this is a very beautiful mantra. Now we are all wondering now is context of what is Sankarshanamurti Swarupa, Asavaditya, Paramapurusha, all these beautiful words. All of those I have explained in the YouTube videos. So I kindly request you to watch those, because if I start explaining every one of them, these study circles will continue for another 2 years. So you will get the meaning of those. Very simply put, you are now going to invoke this devata or the being or the god in your heart. So center of your heart, you put Sankarshanamurti Swarupo Yosavadityah Paramapurusha Rudro Devata. Now, then there is Bijam, the seed. The seed is on this side. Namah Shivayeti Bijam. Touch below the right on your left, right diaphragm. And then Shaktihi is on the left side of your diaphragm. Touch that. And then Bijam is Namah Shivayeti Bijam. What is Bijam? The Bijam is fundamental nature. What is Asava Parama? Sankarshana means the one who plows your heart. The supreme indivisible being, Asavaditya Paramapurushaha. So who is the God for this mantra? The God for this mantra is the one who plows your heart, and the one who is indivisible supreme being. See, just listen to these words. They're nothing to do with what we imagine as a God as Shiva. This is completely absolute Brahman that we are talking about. That God which has absolutely no connotation or association with a name and a form. The one who is plowing out your heart. And who is plowing your heart? Asava Adityaha, the one who is indivisible. Paramapurusha, supreme being. Sa Esha Rudro. That Sa Esha Rudro means that supreme being is Rudra. That supreme being outside manifested in this universe is the Sun God. He is indivisible, constant, ever present. God that you can actually see is the Sun God. If somebody asks the question, where do you see God? Show the sun. Sun is God. And that sun is indivisible, always present, continuously manifested, showing his grace to everyone. Therefore, in Sanatana Dharma, the mother nature is God. sun, asavaditya paramapurusha sayesha rudro devata. Outside is sun, inside is Rudra. Manifest in your body is the warmth of Agni, the fire. Three things I said that are God. Outside sun, inside in your heart, the center is called Rudra. Manifest as the warmth in your body that is constantly manifested is the fire. Namah Shivaya iti bijam. Namah Shivaya is the, we already talked about it, is the seed. It is the fundamental nature. Namah Shivaya is the fundamental. What is seed? Seed is fundamental nature. What is the Shakti? The Shakti is Namah Shivaya iti bijam. Sivatara eti Shakti. Sivatara means the one which is even beyond your fundamental nature, that is expressed and manifested. That Sivataraya iti. Sivataraya iti is beyond this beautiful manifestation of fundamental nature. That is, the energy is the manifestation. Then Mahadevaya is the password. Mahadevaya iti Kilakam. Kilakam is now right below your heart. You touch Namaste. I think you are able to see me. Yeah, here you touch here, and that is what is the Kilakam. Then why are you using it? You are using it for the incredible grace of this ever energetic, which is Samba, ever positive is Sadashiva. Ever energetic is Samba, ever positive is Sadashiva. So if you are always positive and energetic, that is what you want in your life, nothing else. No, hello. Yes, only thing you want, always positive, always energetic, not like castor oil faces, as Swami says. So if you are even if you are always positive, but you are a castor oil face outside, people will not connect to you. So in order to attain this always positive, all energetic state, I am now deploying this mantra, and that is what is this preamble. So that is the essence of that preamble. And let me now, all of you can, those of you that want to ask the question on a chat, you can ask, but I will now open up very briefly for us to discuss what is the essence of this, any questions or comments about this. Please, please today, let us focus on what is being shared, and let us not get distracted into all the outside world COVID. The point of this Rudra Yajna is to go inside and but also be present. Okay. So any questions, comments?
Sairam Shekhar Garu. The Nyasas are used not only for Rudra, but every other suktams like Narayan Suktam, Lalita Sahasranamam, everywhere. Is that the same principle to have all the Rishi, Devata, Shakti,
Yes.
Bijam and everything, and then you incorporate all of that before you chant any of the mantras?
Right, exactly right. And so in this, what I missed in the context of jumped, and I did not go through the Anganyasa, Karanyasa, is when we are saying different things, Om Namah Shambhave cha Agnihotratmane Angushtabhyan Namaha Darshapurnamasatmane Tarjanibhyan Namaha Chaturmasyatmane Madhyamabhyan Namaha Nirodha Pashubandhatmane Anamikabhyan Namaha Jyotishtomatmane Kanishtikabhyan Namaha Sarvakratvatmane Karatalakara Prushtabhyan Namaha Karatala Kara Prushtabhyan Namaha. Kara means a hand, Tala means Tala means the under portion, Prushtha is the top portion. That's how you're doing this. Karatala Kara Prushtabhyan Namaha. Now, what is this Agnihotratmane Hridayaya Namaha? That is Hridaya. Darsha Purnamasatmane Sirase Swaha. Chaturmasyatmane Sikhaye Vashat. Nirodha Pashubandhatmane Kavachayahum. Jyotishtomatmane Netratrayaya Vaushatu. Sarvakratvatmane Astraya Phatu. Then that is Phat. Bhurbhuvasvarom iti digbandhaha. This is the nyasa associated with this. Now, in doing this nyasa, we are saying Om Agnihotratmane Hridayaya Namaha. Darshap Namaha Swaha Vashat. Right? What are the things that we are saying? We are saying 5 things that we are chanting here. First one is Namaha. Second one is Swaha. Third one is Vaushat. Next one is Hum. Shat, Hum, Vaushat, Phat. These are the things that are said. Very briefly, I will explain. Hridayaya Namaha. Sirase Swaha. Sikhayaiva Shat. Kavachaya Hum. Netratrayaya Vaushat. Astraya Phat. What are all these things? I have explained again, very detailed. All of these are explained on the YouTube Sri Rudram. If you go to Sai and then you do all these are explained briefly. Invocation of the divine energy. There are certain mantras that are chanted. They are called invocations or invitations, inviting the divine consciousness, and that is what is these mantras are doing. And what are these invitations? Namaha is an invitation. Om is an invitation. Swaha is an invitation. Vashat is an invitation. Hum is an invitation. Vaushat and Phat. Why, sir? Why you need to invite so many different ways? Can't you just invite once? Why are all these things done? That's a very common question. It is depending upon the intent with which these are invited. Sometimes you say, please come for a tea. That is a different invitation. Please come for a dinner invitation. Please come for dinner along with your, loved ones invitation. Please come and be present, stay with us a few days invitation. How many different types of invitations we are giving to people, and this divine consciousness, we are now asking it to be present. And as I said, very simply put, Swaha means when you are offering something to a devotee, it is Swaha. When you are using it in the context of controlling the energy and channelizing it, it is Vashat. And when you are actually creating a cover over it and inviting and creating a cover over it, a protective cover of some nature, that is a Hum. And when you actually want to control your vision and observation with what intent you are seeing is Vaushat. And Phat means releasing this energy for the sake of expansion consciousness is that. Pranava, we all heard the name Pranava. Pranava is referred to only mainly as Om, but Pranava means the one which allows you to easily cross over. Now means boat. Pranava means one which allows you to cross across this ocean of delusion instantaneously without any effort. And that is the reason why it is called Pranava. And that's why Om is so powerful. It's called Tarakam. Tarakam means again, the one which allows you to transcend. That is now brother, can you unlock a question? Where can I find the whole preamble? Okay, I already answered that question, and we will send you, what we'll do is when we send the notes this evening, we will include the links to the YouTube. Okay, YouTube. So, what is the question? I had that issue, but now what is the issue? Sorry, can you all hear me okay? Maybe
Yes.
there is a link problem on your end, which might, okay.
It
Yeah.
was, but now it's perfect. Yeah.
It's fine. Okay. So
Yeah.
let's open up, and I know brothers from Europe wanted this explanation today. That's why I'm taking the time to do this, because doing this is the way of actually a proper way before you chant. Doing this Nyasa mantras and Dhyana slokas is a very important part of chanting any Mahamantras, because it channelizes your energy and it enables complete presence. Like, for example, in when we do the prayer, we actually slap our cheeks. How many of you do that? Huh? Before you chant a prayer in Hindu temples, you will see the priest or people slapping their cheeks. Actually, they do like this. It is not supposed to be done like touching your cheek. You are supposed to slap your cheeks. Why you slap your cheek is to be present. If you want to awaken somebody, you slap them, then they are present. So you slap yourself so that you are present. The whole essence of chanting these mantras is to be present to the divine consciousness. Now imagine if you just started chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya like that. There is no presence. It's so artificial. Now supposing you are sitting with a good posture, and now you are saying अस्य श्री रुद्राध्याय प्रश्न महामन्त्रस्य अघोर ऋषिः अनुष्टुप् छन्दः संकर्षणमूर्तिस्वरूपो योऽसावादिच्च सरुद्रो देवता नमः शिवाय. Now you see, you are present, you are touching different parts of your body and you are connecting to yourself, and that's why it is called nyasa. Nyasa means instillation, instant connection. And when you do those nyasa, you are automatically present. Hridayaya namaha, sarase swaha, sikhaya vashat, kavachaya hum, netratrayaya vaushat, astraya phat, bhurbhuvaswaromiti, digbandhaha, dhyanam. Now you see how much presence is there in starting chanting a mantra with that versus very simply jumping and starting and chanting without presence. Any questions?
I can't see the words anymore. I see only black.
Sorry?
Do you have the mantra on the screen? I cannot see it. I see only you.
Oh, yes, the mantra. Yes, I have not stopped. I've stopped sharing. Christina, is that Christina? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
It's not. Yeah.
It's not being shared. Yeah, the mantra, we will, if you don't have it, we can actually make it available to you. But I'm not trying to explain the whole thing. I'm just trying to give an essence of it. So if you don't know how to do nyasa, Brother Branimir can help you with that. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes?
Sairam,
Sairam.
this is Pradeep from the Pittsburgh Sai Center. Thank you for everything you're doing. My question is the preamble that you described, Asya Sri Rudradhyaya Prasna Mahamantrasya, is that technically, is that a part of the Taittiriya Samhita, or where in the Krishna Yajurvedam where it is? Or is it like a practice-based, achara-based, something from? Is it in the Shruti, or is it basically in the in the way we practice this?
Yeah, I understand the question. Is it actually part of the actual Samhita, or is it something that is done to as a preamble? It's called a preamble because it is not part of the Samhita. And even the prayer like Apatalana Vastalanta, those prayers are not part of the Samhita. The Samhita is like even mantras like Namah Shambhave, Shambhave Namaha, Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishweshwaraya Maha. That's not part of the Samhita.
Okay.
In the original Rudra Prashna.
Okay, thank
These
you.
are additional mantras.
Thank you.
Yeah, now underlying that brother's question is, what is tradition and what is the actual Vedas? Well, the context of that we have to be staying focused. If it serves a purpose, use it. If it doesn't serve a purpose, don't use it. The purpose of doing this preamble or sankalpa or doing those things, it serves the purpose of aligning yourself and coming to the presence, to the main chant that you are doing. Therefore, use it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam. Okay. What time we have? Okay, so we have 25 minutes for this. So next part of it. Yesterday, if there are no more questions.
I have a question. I typed it into the chat.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Sai Lalita. Thank you very much for explaining all this. But my question is, I do Lalita Sahasranama on every Friday. So obviously we have to do it Nyasa also every time that we do that, right? To be more effective.
Right.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yes, and for each of the mantras, there is a Nyasa, there is a Rishi, there is a Devata, there is a Chandas. All those things are commonly present. And the other way of looking at it is, when we are doing this, it is always important to also seek the blessings and pray to the seer or the sage or the preceptor who has seen these mantras. It's gratitude, it's gratefulness. When somebody gives you food, you automatically say thank you. So everything that we're doing, like Aghora Rishihi, if you don't chant that, then you are not acknowledging and you are not being grateful to the person that enabled this. And that is the other purpose. Now embellishing further on the question from brother from Pittsburgh. When you say the Rishi, when you say the Devata, you are purposefully, consciously acknowledging and being grateful to the Rishi. Like for example, in science, you say Hill's law, Einstein's theory of relativity, and Newton's law of gravity, Kepler's law of planetary forces. Aren't you saying those scientists' names? Are you simply saying, every time we say there is a name of the scientist associated with it? These are scientific principles of supreme being. And this Aghora Rishi, Gautama, all these great rishis are the incredible scientists of the inner space. Yeah. Lalita Sahasranama is Agastya and Hayagriva's conversation. And that conversation did not happen. There was no Lalita Rahasyanama, not Sahasranama, Rahasyanama. Rahasya means secrets. They're not Sahasranama, they're Rahasyanama, inner secrets. Sairam, next. Any brother, are you watching questions?
Yes, there is a question of 8 types of meters, but I don't know if this fits in a topic now.
Yes, the 8 types of meters. There is a lot of explanation around those, and you can. I also explained it on the YouTube channel, so you can refer to that. Very simply put, there are a certain number of letters associated with each mantra, and how many verses are there, etc. And that meter enables focus of the mind. So in the context of the breathing pattern, and also in the context of a association of the energy. So now that question I will answer very simply put. If you imagine these mantras are electromagnetic forces or energies, and that electromagnetic energy of each mantra has 2 components to it. One is electricity, second is magnetism. Electricity is about illumination of your intellect. That is to know the meaning and to be able to connect to the inner intent of those mantras. That is electricity. That's how your intellect is basically engaged. The meter and the breath and the meter associated with it, that meter is associated with the mind and the breath. So the mind, which has to be still, is now stuck to this magnet of meter. The intellect, which needs to be illumined, is electrified and illumined by the meaning of the mantra. Yes, next.
I have shared the link to Sayati Rudram, the first lecture on Lagunyasa from your side, just for others to explore, but later. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
so
beautiful. Now, having gone through these nyasas and the mantras associated with the dhyana sloka before, now we are entering into the core of the Sri Rudra Dhyaya. It is also called Rudra Prashna. Prashna means, a lot of people say question. Prashna in the context of these Veda mantras is query. It's an inquiry. You're actually inquiring about the inner self. And that inquiry leads to so many revelations in the context of beyond the body, the mind, and the intellect. The body, the mind, and the being. And if we want to understand the context of that particular aspect, I'll share with you a simple explanation of what we are trying to get into in Rudra Prashna. And we also said it is Adhyaya. Adhyaya means the one which is above intellect. That ya, which is Adhi. Dhi means intellect. Adhi means beyond intellect. So this Rudradhyaya is something which is beyond the comprehension of simply the mind and the intellect. And now each of these mantras have 3 layers of meanings, at least 3, as Bhagavan explained to me once. The first layer is what is called Vachyardha, the literal meaning of the mantra, what it literally means. Then the Antarardha, what is the inner meaning of that mantra. And then the Paramardha, the ultimate meaning of the mantra. The literal meaning of the mantra is an enabler, but it when literally interpreted, it can be confusing too, because the literal interpretation will change with time and context. But the inner meaning is beyond that time and context. The ultimate meaning is simply an experience, and it is not an expression. I hope you are catching that. If you have any question about the 3 levels, there is the absolute, the personal, and the relative. Yesterday I talked about that. The absolute is Paramardha, the ultimate meaning, which cannot be expressed. It can only be experienced. Therefore, people have taken this literally, no pun intended. And in India, they say, can you please explain the meaning? They say, no, there is no explanation for meaning. What they really mean is the ultimate meaning cannot be explained. It can only be experienced. Nobody can explain the meaning of a vibration. It can only be experienced. If these divine mantras are vibrations, are the frequencies of Mother Nature and the divine and the Mother Nature that are existing inside and outside of us, a vibration can only be experienced and tuned into. It can't be explained. That is true. But in the context of taking the literal meaning, we have created religions out of them. And then we take those so literally that we have become so dogmatic about these mantras and think that these have to be only chanted by Brahmins, these have to be only chanted by men, these have to be only chanted by those that have this cross belt or safety belt or these. So now all these kind of things that we have created around us is based on the literal dogmatic perception of what these mantras are. Bhagavan therefore, as devotee of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, and as I told you yesterday, that's the only thing, and I know that's the only thing I want to know, is Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Then what he has inspired us to do is, hey, these are not really about some God and about some dogmatic religion. These are about becoming or transforming yourself into the divine consciousness beyond the body and the mind. And that is the essence of spirituality. That is the essence of religion, relegare, to reconnect. And that's what we are going to go through with these mantras. So the inner meaning enables you to go beyond the dogmatic, literal perception of a meaning. And then going into that space of inner space with inner meaning allows you to get grounded, in which your mind is absent and your intellect is absent, and you are simply that which is present. Now I am lecturing and turned the study circle into a lecture format. People have gone quiet.
We are fine. We are fine.
Okay. Please raise your hand or ask a question if you are not connecting. Now, this is the inspiration that or a journey on which we started in back in 2003, and Swami has now really inspired millions of devotees across the world connect with him. Why this Rudram? Why not anything else? Yes, why this Rudram? And when I asked this question, the only answer I got is, what is the very first bhajan of Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba? Manasa bhajare Guru Charanam, Dustara Bhava Sagara Taranam. In that bhajan, he invokes three things: Om Namah Shivaya, Arunachala Siva, Omkaram Bhava. This is the essence of the entire spiritual essence of all scriptures he put in one bhajan. And the entire essence of Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam is very simply Sri Rudram. And we will get to that some other time, maybe another satsang related to Manasa Bhajare Guru Charanam, we can go into that. But now coming back to this Rudra Adhyaya, Rudra Prashna. It starts with Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. This is the very first invocation. And that is the very first thing that we chant. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. What does this mean? This Rudra is, very simply put, the source or the center or the seed of ourselves. Shiva, Rudra, both are used in the context of that. So what is that? That is source. Now I'll share with you my screen so that you are connecting to this Rudra aspect of it. This source that is present within us, around us, above us, all around, all over us. It's omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. That source is now in each individual, can reflect that source in full potency, reflect that source in complete potency. But it is not, or if it is, for most of us, only transiently or temporarily. In order for that source to reflect, there are two things that need to happen. One, whatever is receiving that source should be pure, and whatever that is receiving that source should be still. Yes, that is the essence of description of the whole spiritual practice, is that what I am sharing there. The source and the receiver. The receiving medium of this source has to be 100% still, 100% pure. Then the water will reflect, or the mirror will reflect so in potency. How do we make that happen at individual level? Body, mind, and the being. The body, in order for it to receive this source, has to have purity and integrity. The mind should be still without emotions, and the being should be still. This is the essence of the Sri Rudram first Anuvakam. I'll keep sharing the screen so that if you have any questions, you can unmute, ask, please, or type it in the chat.
What does the SSB mean on your slide?
Is that Gautami asking that question?
Usha Prabhakar.
Oh, Usha. Oh. Satya Sai Baba.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what is the correlation.
The correlation, I'll come to the correlation. Okay.
Okay.
The correlation will explain why it is Sai Baba. First of all, all of this is his intellectual property. So I'm acknowledging that. Second of all, Satya is about purity and integrity. Sai is about taking away emotions. Baba is about the being, awareness, bliss, absolute. A lot of people won't understand it, so that's coded. That's the Da Vinci Code. Password. Yes, I see some chats coming. Brother Branimir, I am hoping that you are taking care of the chat and bring it to the attention. Yes.
The people are excited, and yeah, how beautiful you explain things. But as of now, nothing concrete in terms of questions.
Sairam, Shekhar Uncle, this is Sunil. I have a quick question on integrity. I can connect purity with body. How is integrity related to body?
Yes. Hold on to that. When we go through the next 5 mantras, it will become obvious.
Okay, thank you.
Any other perspective, sharing, comment?
Yes, Brother Shekhar. This is Sonal from Stamford.
Yes, Sonal, Sairam.
Sairam. So the impurities and the wavering, actually Swami has explained that, hasn't he? As Mala and Vikshepa and Avarana.
Yes, the words are all there, sister. If you're connecting to those words, and those words are correct words, yes.
Thank you.
Mala is impurity, yes.
Thank you.
Now,
Right.
what is being said here, I'm also telling you, you can connect to these concepts through many different Vedantic, Advaitic, something that is described in Bible. Every religion has some way of explaining these things in their own way. What
Yes.
we need, and what I'm trying to point out is those words are unimportant, but what needs to be taken into practice is more important. But if you're saying, now I understand what Mala means, that is beautiful. You're absolutely correct.
Thank you.
Now, Avarana Vikshepa is all about not being still. So the stillness is about controlling the Avarana, and the emotions is about Vikshepa. So now, those what I'm showing on the screen exactly are the vagaries associated with impurity and wavering.
Correct. Thank you so much for that confirmation.
Sairam Sekharji, this is Kumar from Houston.
Yes, brother.
Sairam, so the reflection means it is all impurities, or just please clarify that.
reflection is not impurity. The reflection is very simply like if you're standing in front of a mirror and that mirror is dusted, the reflection also appears to be dusted. But the reality is that the reflection is not dusted. It's the mirror that is dusted.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks, Sairam. I got it.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Now that is the beauty. Let me explain to you now. It's a very important question brother asked. Instead of, actually this is a very beautiful thing that you brought up. In the context of the mirror and the reflection analogy, the mirror and the source and the reflection, there are three things that are present. Now this is the essence of now people that are listening here from different aspects of Visishtadvaita, Advaita, Dvaita. Now all those things are non-qualified dualism, qualified dualism, and non-dualism. All those things, concepts fit into this beautiful analogy that Swami gives, which is the mirror, the source, and the reflection. There are actually three things, isn't it? But really speaking, there is only, if you take out the mirror, then how many things are there, Kumar?
Nothing, Sairam. No mirror means only one.
Yeah,
One.
if you take out the mirror, there is only one, not three. So suddenly 3 minus 1 became 1, not 2.
Yeah. Yes, Sairam.
Sairam?
Yes. Yes,
So
Sairam.
the mirror is our mind?
The mirror is, what is the mirror? We will get into that when we, one of it is the mind. There is only one thing, the mirror, and that mirror has different functions, and we'll go through that when we go through different mantras. I will be able to, you will be able to connect what are all the different things that cause that reflection. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Any other questions? We have 3 more minutes left, and I will very basically send this as homework to most of you. You have 1 week left, and this is the homework. The word Rudra, Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Bhaga means effulgence. Bhagavate, Bhagavan means actually is a effulgence. Swami also describes Bhagava means Bha is for creation, sustenance, and dissolution. Bhagavan is the word that is used in very different contexts. Bharga is effulgence. Bhaga is effulgence. Bhagavan is the one who is effulgent. Rudraya. What is that Rudra now then? There are many meanings of the word Rudra, and I will share these meanings with you when we close this session today. And you have 1 week to reflect on these, all these different meanings of the word Rudra, homework. Next week we will have, if you want to the homework by email, I can share very briefly what those are next week. But here are the different meanings. Rutam samsara dukkam dravayati iti rudraha. The one who destroys the worldly suffering, Rudra. Rodati sarvakalam antakalam iti rudraha. The one who makes all suffer at the end or at dissolution is Rudra. The one who also removes the root cause of suffering is Rudra. The one who drenches you in supreme bliss at the end note of that musician. When musically, when you're singing, the musician will play with all different notes, and at some point of 25 minutes of alap, he will just hit that end note. And when that end note he hits, everybody is in blissful. The one who makes you hit that supreme bliss or that end note is Rudra. That is what is called Rutau Nadante Dravati Dravayatiti iti Rudraha. The one who sustains dharma through Vedas or awareness is Rudra. Rutya. Now Rutya Veda Rupaya Dharmadinava Lokayati Prapayatiti Rudraha. Now why I am chanting the Sanskrit is that only to let you know that these are not my writings. These are described in scriptures. How the word Rudra is interpreted by many people is what I am sharing here. And that's all originally in Sanskrit. I tried to transliterate it into English. In the form of speech brings out the importance of the meaning of words is Rudra. As the Pranava, Om, the one who makes is him, is Rudra. One who makes you suffer and removes the suffering is Rudra. That means through suffering, he removes the suffering. The one who removes all diseases at the system level, Bhishak, is Rudra. In the form of truth, he enters all the humans, Satya. Rudro Rautiti Satyero Rupamano Draviti Previshati Martyaniti Rudraha. Brothers and sisters, for me this is the most important definition personally, because Rudra is defined as Satya Sai Baba. Rudro Rautiti Satyero Rupamano Draviti Previshati Martyaniti Rudraha. In the form of truth, he enters into all humans and beings. That is Rudra. The root or source of everything is Rudra. Ru is Agni, fire for destruction of ignorance. Tra is for compassion. Therefore, the one who is ultimately compassionate by destroying ignorance, this is Rudra. Now, you don't even need to chant any of the rest of the mantras, okay? You just meditate on what Rudra is, then you will be blissed out. I will send it out, and we are 2 minutes over our today's study circle. We are very grateful to Bhagwan for bringing us all together, and we shall reassemble on next Saturday at the same time, and be May 2nd. Om Sri Sai Ram. We'll close with Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu 9 times, and then Shanti Shanti. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Sai Ram. Have a wonderful week.